snap.
And once the show has started, back in Michigan, we're ready.
We're here. It's the experimental show.
We got Sam doing some tech support. Hopefully our new mics are working.
We got Sam on tech support, yep.
Zach on the camera.
Zachary's back on the camera. You all know him as Steady Hand Zach, and he is here to get things done. So, yeah, we're here for another amazing experimental show. We didn't have any prompts. We actually skipped last week because the furnace shut off accidentally. That was pretty treacherous, but we're back this week. We actually have 2 furnaces on because the recycle is hot and filled with recycled glass. So in the new year, all our recycled products are going to be back in stock.
Like the raindrops, the puddles, the Michigan Icicle Class. Yep.
All of it.
Yep. Exciting.
Super cool. So we started on the bonsai because that's what I'm going to be making today, is a bonsai number 2 to the collection. And we'll be doing a show of these in the new year, possibly in Ann Arbor. I was talking to Dad about, maybe here, we don't know, but we'll make them available to you all at some point. That's going to be my own fiasco. And Michelle is going to be...
Nothing like setting yourself up for success.
That's right. And Michelle is going to be doing...
I'm going to be doing the Monster. It's a prototype for a Monster. I dreamt about this last night. It's something I want to do with the hair. So I'm going to have Jake bring me a bunch of different bits for the hair. But what's really funny in my dream, I like cut it and then I used my fingers to roll it up. So which you can never do because it's hot glass.
Can't
but
do
it was still fun. So either way, I don't dream about glass often. So I figured I better try it out today.
That's right.
Maybe my subconscious will make it work.
So we don't number these shows, but if you look back here, the gathering point is our solid, traditional, classic show. Every Tuesday night, we've done 142 shows with free giveaways and commentary, and we talk to you in the comments, and it's a great time. That's from 6 to 8, 2 hours. It's super fun. This is starting, we're going to start doing it at 12:30 every week, but this is experimental. We're not going to be looking at the comments today. We're going to be working on our own brain and our own thoughts, and working together here to make 2 different pieces or 2 different ideas throughout however long that takes.
Without further ado.
If you want to step over here, I like to just show off what we had. You can wave hi. Lucy here is in town for the holidays, folks. That is the last of the Nordine family here in town. You all know her from our first like 30 shows. She was a huge part in putting that together, but over here we have kind of our setup of a previous few other experimental shows we did where Michelle got the prompt soft and blue and she made a ice cream cone, which is pretty darn sweet. You know, I made a realistic leaf, as realistic as I could make it, which turned out pretty darn cool.
And you know, what I say, these prompts are really good because it gives us, it pushes our brain, and then we can think about how we want to make other products. Like the ice cream cone, I'm going to do a show with some bubble gum. So go figure. It's going to be really fun.
Blue bubble gum.
Yeah,
blue
no,
pink,
it's going to be pink, but...
Here is a waterfall that I did on the last show that we actually did. That was 2 weeks ago. Rain, water coming down over an edge that's not linked to the table at all. We just put that nice 90-degree bend into it, and it sits actually pretty darn well, better than I was expecting. But, well, oh, wait.
Careful now. We are going to have, when you come visit the Glass Academy, we're going to have these words out.
Yeah, we want to have this as like people that are watching the show, if you can come visit, it's like, oh my goodness, let's go through the experimental show pieces and see how they turned out because they're pretty darn cool.
Wait, I was just emptying the class experience evaluation. We really always want our classes to be the best. So here's a comment, was very fun, would take another class. Thank you so much, it was a blast. I really liked it, it was fun. Sometimes people take the classes and they're scared. Like, I'm really nervous to do this class, and that blows my mind, but they do it anyway. I guess like bungee jumping or something.
Sure. So coming on back into experimental end, it is go time. And Michelle hasn't made one of these. I've actually made one with Marcy. I've experimented a little bit with Chris, and this will be the first time. That's important. I got to have that spoon on the bench. We will be doing it now with my mom and I together, and this is the first one, and I like this size. The proportions are correct, but it's not an easy piece to put together because we're going to make this top section, the tree first, get all the branches and the leaves on there. Then separately we'll make the sweet low bonsai bowl, and then we're gonna add these crystals in here. And these ones are clear. I really like the clear. It's kind of like ice crystals in there. But this time I've actually prepared some green, kind of mossy crystals. And the way we do that is I actually took, if you see over here, nope, you want to use this guy over here. It's pretty heavy, and if you don't get the hook on it, it's a tough grab. We're gonna release some energy. Boom.
All right, Jake is taking it, and he's also taller and Marcy than me, so I could never put it up here like
It's
this
not,
anyways.
Yeah, it's not an easy grab.
Well, then that's not smart.
But here's what I was doing here. I cut off like 25 little pieces that big with one coat of that green, a light coat of green, so it's still got clear, it's still got green. And then in here, I rotated back and forth with blasting them with the torch and then pouring water on them and then blasting with the torch again. So it slowly broke them down into smaller and smaller chunks. And if you come over here, this is how it turned out. I've got them in the garage preheating at 1,000 degrees. Look at all those. Super tiny pea-sized pieces all the way up to like almost a grape. So those are going to get nice and toasty, and I'll explain the application of that when we get there, Mom.
Yep,
But
I can do it.
first things first is I'm going to make the trunk, and then I'll show you the colors. This one, we're doing a cherry blossom today. So it's gonna be pretty cool. And I was looking at pictures of cherry blossoms, and if you look at this color right here, this is called rose opal. This is a little different than the stem that I did for this one. It was kind of a brown and a gold. The rose opal is more of like a lighter bark, and I wanted to have some texture, so I also got out the spots of gold here as well. So it's gonna be a mixture of these two, and the bits will be like probably that big each, with like 3 coats of that and then spots of the gold. And if you could just put the spots on.
Spots here, or do you want the bigger print?
I would just do, after the 3rd coat going in real hot, just go right in here and get some spots.
And then make for this type of.
That's for these side pieces.
Okay.
3 of them.
3 coats.
Maybe
and
just
a little
2.
of gold.
And a little bit of gold, and then a light flash, so it's still a little texturous if possible. But that's not too important.
Can I have you turn around for 1 second? Zach, can you zoom in? Do you guys see what we have going on here?
Oh, the Carhartt action.
And because they're lined.
Flannel insides.
And it's cold in the shop.
They're nice.
I just had to like throw that in.
This one, the shape's going to be a little different. I want to do like one tall, big curve, so mine will be a little bigger. We may only do 2 extra branches. One low one,
you tell me what you need.
one top one.
I'm here for you.
All right, let's do it. Well, give me a second to get this first one lined up.
What's in the garage?
The garage is our moss.
All
And
right.
just to be aware, the furnace is real high right now.
Thank you for that heads up. When the furnace is real high and you're just going in for your classic gather, sometimes
It's this deep.
You dip way on the pipe.
So here's, just to match it up, Mom.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm going for 1 coat, a healer, schmack and a half, smoking a pancake. Forget the other ones, but
What is that from?
that's from Austin Powers.
Hey, I told Grandpa the show was on. He might be watching.
So that's 1 more coat there, and I'm gonna put 1 more coat in the spots. I sent out a couple different things to my social media, so if I got any friends out there watching.
If you have any friends,
Hey there.
maybe someone will show up.
So 1 more good coat. I'm curious to see how this will look as a lighter bark that's not quite a brown bark. But you see the spots we got of the gold. That'll iridize in the very final heat.
The iridization may block the transparency of the other color.
Which is perfect. And then we take it to Naughtyland. just means I'm going to put knots in the tree. That's not the place where the kids that get coal for
Nottingham?
Christmas
Is that what
come
you just
from.
said?
Nottingland. So I'm twisting it up. Give it a
So I
pull.
got one of my Christmas presents early, and I had to talk to the woman in registration, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, have you seen that show, Blown Away?"
Yeah.
It's amazing how much exposure that show is giving to
Big
glass
time.
artists. And then shows like ours is like a Blown Away every week.
Right. Twice a week.
Yeah, did I say once?
So there's my neckline. That's how I'm going to get it off. Now I'm going to go for the bend.
Is the scale pretty much, it looks like a touch bigger? But,
Yeah, it's going to be a hair bigger maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes?
Yep. The trick is thinking bonsai. When all the other trees that we make, we've got tall, strong base trees that belong in the woods. And bonsai, they look like that. They look miniature, but there is something different about the shape of the trunk for sure. So I'm trying to get it to look bonsai-ish.
One,
I know right
two,
where these are going.
gold, and less on the marver so it doesn't suck the heat out. So Jake has total heat.
You got 3 coats of that rose opal on there?
I did too. You said the last time too.
Could you do one more?
And then one more of the gold.
Sure. It's a very easily becomes transparent color, so I'm trying to make it as opaque as possible. Beautiful. And I think it's got a hint of pink mixed into the rose opal, so I think that's going to match with the gold ruby that I'm going to put as the action. Let's see. Next one can be a wee bit smaller.
Okay. So we got our new mics going on, and what I have to be aware of is that we don't talk over each other. But
Might
that
be
we're
a little
also,
better angle from right over here, Zach. You can stand, as long as she's not bringing something over, yeah.
Do you want it now?
Yeah, you can start it up. I see what you're saying. The other thing that was interesting that my dad mentioned, especially after making that Charlie Brown Christmas tree on our Tuesday show,
We didn't go over that.
is that I'm making them 2D so far, where they're flat. You got the branches on either side, but not all the way around. And I was thinking about it in bed last night, whether I like the 2D and I'm doing it on purpose, or if I wanted to make them 3D at all and kind of have branches coming from all angles. But I think I'm leaning towards more 2D.
I would say most bonsai are that shape.
And I feel like they are a little more 2D, yeah.
Have you been to the place in Ann Arbor that has the bonsai?
No.
You could go there for reference. I feel like the way they're shaped is mostly 2D because they go like against a wall or...
Right. I did get a little inspiration from the Glass Academy Attics.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I saw something.
Yep, I believe that was Dawn, posted a pretty cool looking bonsai tree. So they do get big quick. I might have to cut. I'm going to cut some ends off here real quick because.
Gabby, introducing Lucy.
So now once it's like I want to affect this top tier one right now, but you can't really do that when that one we just put on is still so hot. Get this guy nice and sturdy.
So one of the things as glass blowers, we kind of do have all our own tools. Because you get used to them and how you handle the tools, you do not want to cut the glass when it's cold and hard. So Jake's got a torch here that he can use to heat up certain areas, and then he'll cut with the shears. I can see he's fully caffeinated this morning.
Caffeinated?
You're just like so excited.
Bonsai-nated.
Which is totally, yes.
It's great. So I'm gonna try and fix up that top one a little bit and make it skinnier. It's got too even of a swoop from the thick part up to the top thin part. I'm gonna take this guy and go like this.
It is like chewing gum or silly putty. I don't know how many of you when you were kids got Play-Doh for Christmas, but that was like the best Christmas ever. New Play-Doh that wasn't like stiff and old. You remember Play-Doh when it dried out? It was horrible. You'd have to like take out the dry parts. But
all
on
crusty.
Christmas, when you got fresh Play-Doh and all the jars are brand new.
Oh yeah. So let's go for gold ruby.
Top?
Like this big, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them, and 1.5 coats will do. So I'm leaving this top one up a little higher because I'm going to get the bottom 2 in here on this little one, this foliage, and then I'll fold that back down, because if it's too tight in there, I'm not going to be able to get the glob of glass in there to cut it around and shape it up.
Are you flashing?
Yes, 1 flash. And also, as soon as we get some more foliage on here, we'll probably have to open up 1 or 2 of the doors, because I'm pretty wide. Almost hitting the doors.
All set?
Yes. So I pull the pipe off the bench so I can get an angle here. I like cutting them a little tall like that, because that's going to leave that round and puffy kind of spot of the tree on there. You could probably reuse those pipes too.
I know, I was going to
Okay.
ask. I will on the next one. So the shears will heat up, the tips of them, but just the next few minutes they'll cool off enough. They're starting to stick slightly for him. That's a pretty cool technique.
Boom, layer
Okay.
number 1.
Start the next one.
Yes. 1 more that size is perfect. Pink is gonna be sweet. The cool thing too is the branches. I was spending a lot of time on them, getting them just how I like them and setting in there just perfect, but the reality is once you add a big bit of solid glass right on top of it like that, it preheats those branches again, and I go for a flash and I can move the branch. I'm going to take one here, any direction I like, and kind of line it up after the foliage is on there. Honestly, this is kind of the simple part so far. Once we get to making that bowl and then getting the moss in there, that's where it's going to get real nice. I like to do just a little torch, not because I need more heat. She brought it plenty of heat, with plenty of heat, but to get rid of that cut mark on the top, so when you're looking down on the top of the foliage, you don't just see a big slice in the glass. I'm also hanging it down here so it still has some height to it. Also, another design choice I made was picking the larger grain pink. We ordered up, they just came back in stock with my favorite size of pink, which is a nice kind of medium in between. It's hardly spotty, but we've got a completely non-spotty, super powdery one, and that's cool, but can I get a moil wrap first on this one? But I went for the larger chunks here, so it kind of looks like it's like little flowers. There's some texture to it. There's a little bit going on. And with the tweezers, I pull out that edge a little bit.
Can I
more.
do it from behind you?
Okay. Yep. We've got cracks in the the glass that's holding on the pipe. The glass on the pipe, so we got a little extra heat here. Make sure this piece doesn't fall off. That just doubled the size of the punty, which is super important. See that pink looking pretty good.
Third one?
Now we'll go for like 2 more smaller ones. You can do one of those size and then just give it a reheat and bring it back over. So this guy's going to be kind of angled up. This guy's going to be angled down. It's always weird from a behind-the-scenes standpoint how we're in here. I was in here at 8 a.m. this morning, and I've been playing music all day, having a good time. And now this is a different kind of having a good time when the music cuts off and we got the camera on us.
And so to be clear, the music cuts off because it's copyrighted music. And
That's the only kind of music we listen to, copyright music.
well, we have to find the playlist that's not copyright. It is out there, just unfortunately, for some reason, when we turn our radios on. And we want to respect the artists and give them their due, so.
This thing's getting wide here.
So do you prefer the left door or the right door?
Probably the left, so the heat's shielded by the shield. Thanks, Mom. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Might have done that one a little smaller. I would have cut that a little smaller now that I'm looking at it.
Well,
I'm trying to think how I can
smaller.
fix that up with maybe just a little squish.
Can you tell me where this next one's going?
It's going on the opposite branch, same situation.
Okay.
All right. So now I'll do this one nice and tiny. And then we're gonna do 1, maybe 2. I'd probably get a gather the same size as that last one for the top ones here.
It's rolling in.
All right, we got 4 on there.
Yes?
Yes. This is definitely bigger than the other one. I'm gonna hold it up with the other one right now. We'll compare. Pink's looking sweet though. This is one of the most beautiful colors and one of the most expensive colors we have, but rightfully so. With a couple more on top, it's gonna be bigger.
No stress
for sure.
there.
Right. There's always a little bit of stress for that reason only, because if I break this piece, if it falls on the floor, if we didn't put that moil wrap on there,
It's just expensive.
we're talking a lot of color. You probably got like 30 bucks in color on here right now. And color goes up every year. It sure goes up with inflation.
I saw that last color order. I opened the bill. I was like, ow.
Yeah, I actually ordered less than usual on that
I
one,
know.
but yeah, the prices are still high. Okay.
Are you ready?
Let me take one flash. Sorry. Because now I'm going to do what I was talking about, is bend down that top branch so that it covers over those other ones a little bit. And that'll leave me the perfect place to put this big boy right on.
Everybody's rolling in.
We got the full house in here today.
Today we are open at 1.
Open at 1 today, that's why.
Yeah.
I see.
It's all coming back to me now.
Opening up soon. The gallery, yeah. Extended hours for the holiday last minute gifts and pickups. Say that again? That's true. Little in-person show for the customers. No, I think what'll happen is when they start getting set up, nope, Michelle's actually doing it, they'll put up the barrier for us. It's honestly enough already in my brain, and many artists don't even like being filmed because it's just so much talking about it and explaining what you're doing that it's pretty hard to focus on what you're actually doing. Then you get an actual virtual audience and in-person audience, and my brain starts flipping around and doing backflips and having problems. So then there's going to be one more little one.
There is?
Yep. Gotta watch my thumb when it's getting wider like this. I almost hit my thumb a couple times with these wider branches. Oh my God, that went on perfect. Look at that. Go
Now?
for it, yep. Oh baby. So the last one, you see I got gold brown on the base, which is a darker gold color. This one, because we got this light color scheme in the pink, I went for the same gold, a lighter gold, but I put that same gold as spots in the stem. So in the same way that the pink in the bark is going with the pink in the blossoms, in the foliage, I've got the same gold kind of matching the stem
So sometimes
on
we
the
go
base.
back, a lot of times we go back and read the comments. If anyone has been to Japan and seen the bonsai, shoot us a message about that. What
Yeah.
stood out to you most?
These have me had me looking up on the map where Japan is, and I actually follow quite a few Japanese glass artists, and a good friend of mine and I are pretty interested in that kind of glass work, and it would be really cool to go to Japan and just see another glass shop or experience it in person, or just go to Japan
In general.
in general.
You know, my sister went, and one of the things she said was you have to take any trash you have with you.
Oh,
There's
that's
no
amazing.
like public trash cans.
That's amazing.
So if you buy food at a market to eat or something, there's very minimal packaging because they don't want to create trash,
That's amazing.
right?
That's amazing
I mean,
too.
that's one of the things that stood out to her as a Canadian.
That's
anyways.
super cool. It's not that far too. I mean, well, from us over on the East Coast, it kind of is. But if you're in California, it's just a nice skip and a hop over the ocean. It's a minimal ocean. Oh, baby, this looks good. So, Mom, once we get this completely finalized here,
Yeah, does it hang out in the garage? What do you do?
yes, we're gonna put it in the garage. I'm gonna equalize a couple more flashes to equalize everything, and then we're going to take it into the garage, let it sit in there, and then make the bowl.
Okay. So am I flashing it at all?
Afterwards. before we stick it together, yeah.
Okay. And do you want it on the left side or the right side?
Right side should be fine. I'm gonna do one more heat to equalize it. See how when I take a heat, this guy, the most recent one, is still glowing more than the rest of them. Look at that knot right there in the trunk. So it's important that I get these all, and that just fell right over and landed on the other one right there. As I was looking at it, it was still that hot. That's why we gotta equalize these temperatures. I'm gonna have to pull that off of there. Hopefully it didn't stick too much. Nope, beautiful. So when that happens, you get just a little stringer of glass. And I'll just do one of these. You'll never know what happened.
Your moil's good going into the
Moil
garage?
looks good and hot. Everything's looking pretty darn tasty. And it is not completely straight. There's a little angle to it, so I like that. So I'll be able to start up on this next one, but when I put this in the garage, if you would just watch it and kind of flip it back and forth until it stabilizes.
Yeah.
What's that? No symmetry allowed. That's right, folks. There actually is a lot of symmetry in nature, but it's really cool making asymmetrical pieces.
Did you ever hear the story about Henry Ford, how he built a house, not a house, a car, and then had to bust the wall out to get the car out? Have you thought about the door opening of the garage? I mean, it's gonna fit, but you're close.
Yeah, it is gonna be really close. You're right, I didn't think about that. We were close on the first one we made. This one is gonna be tight.
I mean, but you can like...
Yeah.
I moved enough furniture to know that, but...
All right, here we go. To the garage. I turned it on a half hour ago, so it is up to 1,000 degrees.
And this is a holding tank. Yeah, you're fine size-wise.
Plenty. So just be careful when you flip it, though.
Yep. And is it touching? No.
Nope.
Awesome.
But you see, if you can see in there, it's bending a little bit. So I'm going to do a gentle rotation. Hopefully that one, if not the next one, it will be stable and it'll stop moving. Kind of would be nice if we had some notches in that. But
We do have one notch. You're on it.
yeah.
It's like a rotisserie chicken.
That looks great. Okay.
Look how it's like that bench jumped at you.
So now we make the base, the low bowl, and it's actually kind of difficult making lower bowls. It's easy to make a cup-shaped tall one, but to get it to fall down even and become a low squatty boy with the pineapple without taking too many heats is a pretty fun challenge. So we're gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it on a big pipe because it's kind of a bigger.
Just put that pipe up and it's hot. Oh, never mind. I put the
Thank
solid
you.
one up.
Tank's high. That's the classic. That's a classic right there. I love having a clean moil going in, having a perfect gather line, and look at that gather line. There's a big blotch on
All
one
right,
side.
little clarity here. Gather line is this line.
Yeah.
Not everyone knows what that
The
means.
gather line.
No one knows what that means.
Does everybody know out there why we call our Tuesday show The Gathering Point?
Because it's a group of people gathering together to watch something fun.
But it does also have to do with glass.
I know. I'm teasing.
The coolest term in glass, the gather, when you gather the glass from the furnace. So I'm gonna keep this a light gold. This is what I was talking about with pink. If we did it this size, you would not see, and you won't see spots of gold. It's gonna be a perfectly even, beautiful coat of this gold. We could have done that with the pink, but we went with the larger chunks, twice as large, and I think it's gonna give it some nice optics.
So chunks are like, think of baking sugar or chocolate chips. There's a variety of sizes. I know Dale Chihuly calls them jimmies.
Chimneys?
Jimmies with a J. That's
Jimmies?
not like a technical glass blowing term. That's one he made up for his company, Jimmies.
We've made up a term or two. Say that again?
If you guys have ever seen Dale Chihuly's works, they are
Yeah, that's
amazing. Amazing. He has some very talented craftsmen that work for him and women.
So I just blew a bubble into it. Now I'm shaping it up to get into the mold. I wanted it even. I It's a bad thing to go in the mold with too much thickness, the pineapple mold. It makes it really difficult to get out. But at the same time, I want this to stay a little bit thicker because if you look at that one, it's kind of folded on the edge. But actually, that doesn't matter anymore because I got a new way of putting the rocks in there. So we don't have to worry about warping our bowl shape.
The pineapple mold is similar to this in terms of the shape. It's made out of bronze and the pattern. And Jake has it on the floor so he can dip in.
Sorry for that, folks. Had to blow as hard as I could to get the best texture possible. And I nailed it. Blow. Good. I really like going straight to the bench from the mold. Blow. Good. You just cap it.
Because the glass on the inside is still hot, and that's what's blowing out. That outer layer has a memory of the mold on it, so it makes it nice and crispy.
Super crispy.
Think of like a skin of a grape. This had a slight like skin on it, but then when you busted the grape, it's juicy inside. That's
Totally.
the same logic.
That's a great analogy. Or if it's that crispy, you could think of it just as like a Krispy Kreme donut.
I hate donuts. It's like, I would never use that analogy.
Well, if I'm gonna eat a donut, it's gonna be a Krispy Kreme donut. Hashtag Krispy Kreme,
No,
everyone.
hashtag no.
So now I've got my hand on here, I'm capping it, letting it fall back so it's getting nice and squatty, flat, kind of like a
Squatty
UFO
potty.
saucer. Not like the squatty potty, nope.
Hashtag squatty potty. After you eat your hashtag Krispy Kreme.
I think we're good. I think we'll take a Maurice here. Actually, no, it's a foot. Just a clear one like that big. Not big at all. Just kind of a nice, like, you see how this one's a low sitter.
Am I dropping it on the
Foot
Merver?
underneath it. What's that?
Am I dropping it on the Merver?
Right on top.
Okay.
Diamond shears. So you see that texture is pretty darn strong right now. I want to get this as even as possible before she comes over with the clear. Perfect size, nice and hot. No paddle.
No?
Thank you. Squish it on as even as possible. It's looking really tasty. Yep, that's right, folks.
So question du jour is, do you want it on the big punny?
We'll actually take a paddle here.
I
Okay,
saw
on
the
there.
big punny up.
Real light. Beautiful. Yeah, we could do it on a big punny. I think it's probably wise. Oh yeah.
Grand Central in this place today.
So that's good. Go for it. I think we're good. I think we got it.
Did you get your sign from Spectrum?
No.
Guess you're leaving.
So I'm letting this stabilize just like with those top foliage branches. I don't want the base to be really hot when we add this punny to it. Right now we're gonna flip it off. We're gonna break it here. There's gonna be a hole in the top that we're gonna open up, flare it open, let it squat, and then add those moss rocks in there. Chris is opening up the annealer back there. We made some work yesterday. He made some larger pieces, some big paperweights. And normally when I come in, I open it right up and get after it and see what we made and how it turned out. But he mentioned to me that the larger the paperweights, the more we want to let that sit in the morning. So I didn't rush it at all. I waited until he opened it up. And now that he's got his pieces in hand, I'll be able to get in there after what I did. couple of Christmas gifts maybe for some grandparents
so
out
that
there. Won't
annealer
say too
stand
much
kinda
about that,
closed.
though.
All right.
All right, beautiful punny.
I've given you a nice, stable, solid punny
It looks
with
super
a little
nice.
bit of
Looks good in there?
chunk to it so that
Wow. That's a beautiful punny. The shape's super nice. You got heat in it, and it's not too hot that when I stick it on there, it wants to move around everywhere. So it's just the right amount of stability for me to carry this for the rest of its completion. Little tap. And now I do notice right off the bat, and I kind of was expecting this, that that hole in the end is super tiny. It's super thick. I had mentioned I was going in the mold real thick. This can go in the clear bucket. Thank you. So I'm gonna need to get up in here and pinch it open from the inside. I can't just put the jacks in there and open it up, the tool we use for opening up vessels, because the hole is too tiny. So it's gonna take an extra flash or two, kind of get this guy open. I need to solve that on the next one, because what that happens, or what that does, is it has me doing extra heats on the texture that's on the outside. And like Michelle was saying, these work great when it's like a grate. The outside is cold, you've got core heat, and you can open it up and create the piece. If I have to give this too much heat from the outside in, you melt away the texture. So it's gonna give me less texture because I have this situation on my hands, but what are you gonna do? Do better next time. This is finesse work here, for sure.
we got staff members looking over, interested in what's going on.
Uh-oh.
It's all good, making a bonsai.
So here we go. Tweezers right to the hole, and these are the wrong tweezers. Could you grab me the skinny pair of tweezers?
Yep. Skinny pair of tweezers.
The ones, either
Flat.
ones on the left.
This is why having your own
Thank you.
tools is kind of a... Oh, you had no tweezers.
I had what?
You had
No, I
no
did. I put
tweezers.
them back.
It's kind of like, you know how you have your own car, you understand the nuances of your car. Everyone can drive
The
a car.
mechanics.
Yeah, but like for my tools, I definitely have my own shears and jacks. But the skill of a glass blower is not based on the tools or the equipment. What was that? Mechanics. Yeah, it does. It's the same mold that is used for that.
Yeah, the subtitles are pretty cool, actually. They pick up some
Oh,
cool
right.
stuff. They pick up last names. They pick up like a lot of words. And you know we make up a lot of words, so it's kind of like, nice job. I don't know if Twitch has subtitles as well, but I know Facebook and YouTube do. For anybody who's just joining us for the first time ever, we are the Glass Academy here in Dearborn, Michigan. We do multiple shows a week. This is the Gathering Point, our Tuesday show. Right now we're doing the experimental show.
I wanted to say that we're getting these mugs on our website. They come from a print company that makes them. They do not ship from us. They will look like this when they come in the mail.
Now I'm going for the pluck and trim. So I got that hole open, I pulled it out nice and thin, and
That
then
sounds
Mom,
like a chicken.
I'll take a clear lip wrap.
Are you ready now?
I'm ready.
Yep.
It's such a low squatty form that when I'm heating up the lip, in order to get the lip hot, it transfers heat all the way back to the foot. So as I'm finessing it and finishing it up, I gotta keep my eye on the, something funny, Zach? I gotta keep my eye on the foot of the piece, because if I open up the lip and Michelle's paddling the lip nice and even, and then I look down at the foot and the foot's off half an inch wobbling, then when I straighten out the foot, the lip's gonna be half an inch off. You hold it back in the air. All right. Beautiful. crystal clear lip wrap on there, matches that bottom crystal clear patty. I think it's super clean, a little bit of added action. You don't want it to be a super delicate thin lip up top. It's just a little color separation from the clear, from the gold to clear to the moss.
Touch the tree because it's fine.
It looks good, yeah. When we do grab that beforehand, I'll have you take it to the left side and put it up in the corner for sure for a good minute or two.
What comes next, the tree or the nuggets?
Nuggets. We get that out of the way, and then you can handle the tree. So for this one, just like I was talking about, first I'm going to use the paddle to hit the foot, and then we go for the open.
We do have these wooden
Did you hit the foot again?
dowel rod
Did you hit the foot?
that are good for low bowl shapes.
Thank you.
That are always an option. Do you know those?
That's not a low bowl right there. Yeah, the parchofis.
Yes.
That's something that we haven't really used here. I've hardly ever used in my life.
You got to practice a lot on them. You just practice over and over. It's a day of making nothing but just practicing the tool.
I've kind of always thought of those as like the Marver and blocks. Like I didn't grow up using blocks at all, and now I do everything on the Marver.
You push the back end of the bowl and push it from the inside and like scoop it open, so it's a whole technique. It's pretty cool.
Seems kind of like it could be a crutch.
No,
When I can just do
Necessary.
this. Ultra light paddle.
On the lip?
Yes. I'm spinning really fast to let it spin out using centripetal force. Good. You hit the foot one more time. Okay, you see how that squatted up about half the length? Now we're going to do that one more time.
And this is where I start to get nervous because now it's the stuff I don't know how to do.
Uh-oh.
We'll find out.
The rocks will be easy. I'm going to torch the inside of the piece and then have you bring them over, take a flash, and bring them over directed here. I'll have it angled up and I'll just use the spoon and scoop them in there. Then we'll fill in the cracks by me torching the spot and you just taking the tweezers and placing one in each crack. Tasty. It's actually bigger than I was thinking. I think it's proportionate, but I still want to squatty it up a little bit.
I would say it is.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. The trick is if it's too deep, then I got to really fill it up with all those pieces of moss. So I want to get it a little wider. Come on down, baby. Come on down. Mm-hmm. Kind of like it actually squared up a little bit. Ooh. Ooh, baby. Look at that. All right.
Okay,
So, yeah. Next time, I'm thinking ahead now here too. Next time, if I put an even bigger foot on, but have the bottom hotter, I can push it up in there so it comes up. There's a ball that comes up half an inch into the top, and then I'll be able to hit the tree right on that clear glass ball and just have the moss around the tree.
do you want this now or
I'm gonna take one more flash, then you take one more flash, and then we'll do it. there's going to be a beautiful progression of these pieces. That's why I signed that one number 1, so I can remember. So I'm getting this hot so those stick, and I'm ready for it.
You want me on the bench?
Nope, just like this.
Okay.
Up higher. That's hot. Okay. Good. Oh boy. Not really enough. We may need some more. They're stuck. Kind of. Mom, I think we might need to make a couple more of these.
The moil cracked on this, just a heads up.
All right. Well, you could, yeah, heat that up and then leave it on the left side so that it starts to get extra warm, but I think I'm gonna have to add a few more crystals in here, maybe. Yeah, I do.
How about you make the piece and you just add some crystals loose on the top?
Huh?
Do you know what I mean? Like when the piece is finished, you fill it in?
Oh, I see.
So that you don't lose this tree. Oh!
What do we lose?
The edge of the,
One of the branches?
Yep. I don't think the garage on the left or the right was warm enough.
All right, well then, yeah, we'll just put the tree in there. I can add some more after the fact. And then we can add on that branch, no problem.
So the moil is cracking. Can you open a door and let me flash?
Yeah, maybe give that one more second. Okay, the door is open. Watch out, Zach.
I do believe you'll be able to repair this, but yeah, we need to keep it on the left.
Go for it. It's all yours. I'm flashing in the furnace.
Yeah.
What?
The moil is still cracking.
Well, you're in there. At least the piece isn't cracking. Can you go deeper and hit the moil right with the burner?
Yeah, I'm afraid it would bounce right off, though. That's why I wasn't.
All right, take it out. Trade with me for a sec.
Do you want a moil wrap? I don't know how.
Nah. Is Dad still here? I don't think he is. It's an easy fix on that one branch.
Yep.
But maybe we could put that on the left side of the garage and fix this branch up real quick.
You tell me what to do.
Yeah, one more flash, deep flash, and not too deep. One more just regular flash, and then toss that on the left side.
I think if the brick was angled up in there too, it would help. Heat rises.
I agree, you're right. So I'm giving a little love to this moil. If you could get a zoom in on that, Zach. See how I'll take the flame away. You got many cracks all up in here, the thick spot of the moil, which means that if I'm not heating up the bottom of this tree,
Okay,
it's
what
gonna
am
be
I doing?
a red or a pink
right?
branch. Yep. So we just lost that one right there. And it's still partially on there, so it's honestly like, I'm just gonna cover it up and just add up a fresh one on there. Having a little bit of something to work off of is gonna make that puff ball on the top a little taller. So I don't even mind that, because that's what I'm always shooting for, is having that top canopy. It was real windy in Bonds Island. Bonds Island?
I'm gonna go flash in the furnace.
Okay, yeah, thank you. This is, I mean, we're fixing it, but you folks see, we don't break pieces that often, but this is just obviously proof that a lot of the pieces that we do on our regular show are pieces that either my parents have been making for 10 years, or we've just slowly, I mean, I came here and we've developed them, like the slugs or whatever it is. These are all developed, finished products that we know how to make. So when it comes to making something like this, there is this period of figuring it out and understanding the process and losing pieces because of that.
Lucy? Tell Gabby this.
Oh yeah. That's right. Oh yeah.
Thank you.
It's actually a little too puffy. It's good to realize now that it can be too puffy, because I was shooting for puffiness on every one, and now I know there is that middle spot that I kind of was hitting from the beginning that I really like the most. So I'm gonna actually flatten it down a hair here.
Thank you, Lou.
Let me get a couple more touches on here, and then we'll trade, and I'll heat up the middle, and then we'll knock it off and stick it on.
Watch him boil.
All right, let's trade on this one.
So I'm gonna flash and then bring it to you and
Perfect.
take it.
So we're gonna go for the stick together, folks. This is the moment of truth.
To stick together. I have to remember that wordage. Heads up, the pipe is warm the way I had to flash.
Thank you.
How are you doing this? Diamonds
Let
on
me
the
take
front?
one more flash. I gotta pull it off the foot a little bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna, if you set it right in front of me, I'll just put the diamonds or put a little water on there and then knock it and grab it. Okay. I'll take one more flash, please. One more flash. Oop. No, I'm just gonna, you'll be setting it right here like this.
I understand, but
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get the paddle under there just in case.
Cool.
This is a
She's on there.
nail biter for two people.
Oh, baby. She is gorgeous.
Not over till it's over. Are you reduction?
Yes, we will do a reduction at the end here. I did want to, I'm thinking the front of the tree is this side, and I see a little hole there from where things were applied together. So I want to give it a
Jesus,
little
slow it down.
love
Slow it down. Everything's just fine. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Trying to keep the heat in there.
Can you turn that pilot up a little bit?
Me?
Yes, the pilot. The diamonds.
I don't know what I'm doing, left or right.
Lefty loosey, just a wee bit.
And there goes my hair. I don't know why I have no eyebrows. Hey, happy holidays.
I think it's gonna be best if you just bring me a tiny little pink bit, real tiny, and then we'll be good. It's too tough to hit that spot with the torch the amount I want when this thing's so unsymmetrical without having it lean one way or the other.
Ready?
I'm ready. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Carbon is what reduces the gold. So it's whenever I touch it like this, it actually, the flames coming off the paddle reduce the base a little bit, which is pretty cool.
Well, I'm definitely not used to doing this show. Will you put this away? Would you mind?
Glove man?
Yes.
You could tong it, whatever you think's best.
Whatever you guys want to do. I want no responsibility at this point.
It's really tough keeping that base symmetrical, but I see the way the tree's leaning, and I think it leans perfect. So this will be, I'll do one, then we'll do the reduction, and then we'll put it away
So tell me when you want reduction.
on this next one. All right, here goes the bling bling.
We're having some tech issues and the gallery is open, so I'm going to pop out while you guys put this away.
Yeah, I'll probably do one more. There it is. Bonsai number 2. Alrighty. Maybe just a hair if you hold it up in the air, yeah. All right. Here, hold it. Yep. Going in number 1. Nope, going over in the garage. I don't think we got an annealer on, folks.
All right.
What? Let's turn on number 2 here. Oh my God, folks, we have no annealer on. All that work, and it might not make it. So it's sitting at 1,000 degrees right there. Hopefully it's not gonna move much or do anything, but the annealer is gonna come up in probably 20 minutes. So it's gotta sit there for 20 minutes.
It'll be okay.
And be okay.
We'll take it with the fork and we'll raise it up and warm it up for a little bit and then just move it into the annealing oven and it'll be fine.
All right. Smell some burning hair. I don't know what that's from, but it sure looks sweet.
It does. That's a nice one.
Low bowl, real low squatty boy. Almost
Yeah.
can't see the foot, but when
Yeah,
you get
looks
low enough,
good.
you do see it.
Nice piece.
All right. Let's hope that makes it, folks. If not, it's just another wild learning experience, but either way, it's pretty sweet. Okay. Had to shake that one off there. That was pretty hardcore. It's in the garage.
Too bad we can't make an annealer come up super fast.
It's going to be up in 20 minutes. The little one is.
Do the best we
Uh-oh.
At
can.
least he survived.
Look at this guy. That's an ash piece, folks. Chris Nordine Studios, Ashes and Art Glass
Little memorial stuffed animal.
for a lost dog. All right. Well, that's that. What do you say, Mom?
I say that we don't have an annealer up. So should I do something or should I just try the techniques?
Try the
annealer will be
techniques,
up.
but the annealer will be up in 15 minutes.
Okay, could you do the annealer reveal while I get the girls at the register? We're having some tech issues.
All right, folks, and I guess we're going to get a surprise annealer reveal today. So there's some tech issues in the gallery, so come on over here and we'll give you guys what we usually do on Sunday, but you're going to get the bonus of today. Now, let me get a peek in here first. It's missing something. So, Dad, is your piece, did you finish up that piece from the show? Signed it and whatnot? Is it in the annealer still? Okay. So we'll start off with a true annealer reveal coming out of the annealer, one of the highlights of the show. This was an artist choice
This is Sharon.
for Tanya, and it turned out pretty ridiculous. How about that?
Downloading?
I don't know how this became a Christmas thing, the wreath, and I don't know if it's necessarily just Christmas or if it's all the holidays, but this piece is hardcore. It's all solid.
So
If you look on the inside here, you see the move he did was incredible, the way he worked the rope, and he put 2 layers and twisted them together. You see it a little on the outside here. That's where it all came together. So it's kind of like
Is
branches
that working?
woven together, and then we put a lot of multiple different greens on there,
it's
and then the
not a-
berries. You've got the GA stamp on the bottom,
Hi.
and this is pretty
You guys all
hardcore.
set?
Tanya, you got a heck of a piece here out of that one. That's what happens when you go for an artist choice. Let them do what they want to do. But that one's insane. And Chris is still going to polish off the edge where we broke it off. He's also going to I don't know what else he was going to do. He said something, but on our way by, take a look here. Beautiful display of cups that we got going on. We made some more COVIDs for the weekend. COVID sculptures. That's a product that got us through the COVID scare these past couple years, where it was just me and the family. We donated 1/3 of the proceeds back of every sale of those COVID sculptures, and they're signed on the bottom, each of them. But those are really cool. This is a brand new color I ordered. A deep, kind of like ocean blue. It's got some serious deepness in it. But that's a beautiful set. And then we'll take it over here to the annealer. Getting things figured out?
Yes. Why does your website kick you off? I'm back on. Sorry about that. I was at the register. Okay.
Shall we?
We need dramatic
Ba-boom.
music. We're going to have to get sounds that we can play when we do this.
Big time. This is the annealer reveal. This is our mini annealer to show off what we made. I just showed you that one. We had 2 more custom orders, starting with the Charlie Brown droopy heavy ornament Christmas tree.
And hopefully that person's not watching.
Why?
Because it's a Christmas gift.
They were watching. They know who it's for and what it's for. It's Riker for Kelly. And look at the baseboards. That's what I was really thinking and pondering about how to do, that crossover board technique, but it turned out perfect, and the texture on it is super cool. A few sparse branches. You got the pads, and I signed this one. I'm not going to show you that one. It's a special signature. Those guys are great customers of ours, so I wanted to give them a little extra something. Usually we can inscribe anything. I think we charge 15, maybe 20 bucks to have a custom inscription on any kind of custom piece. But sometimes you got to hook up your great customers, and Riker is one of them. Here we've got the Santa / holiday slug, folks. That's a first. Look at his little tail. This was a gift.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. Double color spiral. He sits perfect because they've always got a little wobble because they're slugs. But he sits much better than some of the other pieces we've made with some weight on top because they're usually pretty wobbly. But he's got the perfect amount of wobble. He's never going to fall over. It's impossible for him to fall over.
That's that Weebles Wobbles thing.
Weebles
Wobbles,
Wobbles.
but they don't fall down.
Exactly.
It was the thing when we were all kids.
That one was for Sandy. That's a Christmas gift from Tanya, and that's a beautiful piece. And then you had the warmer upper. That was Chris. You
It
want to show
almost
that one
looks
off?
like angel wings.
Yeah, sure.
But 3 leaves of holly, nice red base with the green.
Super clean base.
Yeah, very cool. I like it. It's got some weight to it, so it as well. You could do a nice tall red candlestick in there. Would not have to worry about it tipping or falling over. And I don't know, today, another day soon, Chris will make the matching set because you want to do it while it's kind of in your mind.
Yeah, so he'll make the second one of those, and that'll be available on next Tuesday's show. And then stick with us as we figure out the scheduling of how those products are made available.
Okay, so now we're going to do some monster hair.
Monster preparation, let's do it.
What is that? Okay, so I would prefer, since I'm going to do this on a clear bubble,
Okay.
I would prefer not to use our high quality colors. Can you give me two opaques? Student colors are fine.
2 opaques.
Yeah.
So for a little history for everyone, the Monster Show, or a little
Yeah, it's not even history.
a lead up to it. We're doing a Monster Show, one of our VIP events that you're going to purchase a ticket for to be part of, and it's going to be, or are we doing that one free? I think we said we're purchasing
Well,
a
we're
ticket.
going to do a hybrid. We're talking to the people at Live Scale about how to best do the shows moving forward, and so until I have that information from them.
So we don't know what's
hybrid.
going on yet, but it's going to be a sweet show. It's going to be monsters. We're going to have pre-made monsters. We're going to make one-of-a-kind monsters on the show. We got giveaways, many giveaways, as we always do on the VIP shows. We're going to get you information on how to get your ticket and join that event with us, but that's going to be late January, or was it early February?
Yeah, it was late January. So we're also going over, I'm thinking like a VIP ticketed preview and then a free to the public another day. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, but we have to work out the logistics. Kind of depends on how many monsters we can make, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. So then I'm going to pull out a couple mixes of colors here. We'll go with the green is pretty monstery, and then I think we're going to go with orange. Green and orange. Some pretty traditional monster colors. I hope you all are doing great out there today. It's the holiday season. We got Lucy in town. The whole family's here. It's going to be a pretty cool experience.
So here's the deal. Everyone's thinking holiday, and we're already like, okay, what are we doing in January?
Exactly.
I love the smell of using wax.
So she's shaping up the glass right now. It's giving it kind of a cylindrical shape. It's still super molten. At the same time as she's shaping it up, it's kind of cooling it down a little bit. Now she's going for a bubble. She's blowing it out.
Nice and floppy. So since the annealer's not up and I want to just practice the hair, I'm just using a clear bubble here. And I mentioned too, we're gonna, in the chat bar, we'll read your comments. If you guys could post 4 words that describe a monster. Are they big and fluffy? Are they scary teeth? Are they long-haired and evil eyes? What makes a monster a monster? Which I did want to Google that.
Yeah, what does make a monster? And does it have to be scary, or can you have friendly monsters? I think a lot of us think of the show Monsters, Inc. and how they scare children for a living, but they're all pretty friendly, pretty cool monsters, the majority of them, I think. So how's the color going to get applied to this?
Good question. So my monsters, well, I don't want to give away too much because we're going to prototype and go over some different ideas, so I don't want to put too much. We're going to try some hair and some eyes. So we're going to do hair on 1 or 2 sides, and then I'll blow another bubble and do some eye.
It's a pretty big bubble.
Well, it's going on some feet. So this is what I need. So a couple dips in color. I want you to flatten, and we're going to put flat, and then I'm going to cut strips in it and then curl them up. So I need a tongue for you like you did your Charlie Brown base tree, like that.
Got it.
Of any color.
Got it. Is that going to be big enough?
Yeah, I mean, I'll work with whatever you bring me. So in my dream last night, I dreamt I cut this, and then I used my fingers to shape it, which would be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it worked in my dream.
That's what dreams are for. So then I'm going to take this and take the tag and flatten it down and then bring it over to you. So give it a little roll. Longer than that.
When you come over, just swing it down and I'll stretch it out.
All right.
We might have room to do the eyeballs on this. Straight up.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, those aren't the best for cutting.
I need my tools. Those don't work at all.
Nice. That's looking like some wispy hair. Oh, baby. So the trick too, when you put on a hot bit like this, just like when I put those, we had the one piece of foliage fall down and touch the other piece of foliage when it was hot. She's heating them back up to have enough heat to shape them up how she wants, but if she's in there and she heats it up too hot, then they're going to, oh yeah, look at this. And they're gonna fold and land somewhere she doesn't want them to. That's looking real cool. Real cool.
So
Woo-hoo-hoo!
is that fun?
Super fun. That's monster hair right there. Look at that, folks. That is monster hair to the max.
Okay, so the next one
It's
was
a tuft. That's awesome.
kind of like the Santa beards we're doing, the gnome beards. Can you bring me a beard?
Yes. About the same size?
Yeah. So I am happy with that. Like what that did. I'm going to try one more style and then I'm going to show you what I want to do with my eyes.
Any specific color?
No. I just, yellow's fine, whatever.
Two schmacks of green.
Okay, so this one,
So these are for the eyeballs, or this is?
no, this is not the eyeballs. This is like the beard. I just want to try a little more movement on it, straight up and down. So like the Italians made pooty hair.
Made what?
Pooty. Pooty is that little angelic angel. That on the cherubs. An Italian Renaissance painting. That little
Can't you talk and
cherub.
design glass at the same time, Mom?
No. So I wanted to do it like we do the beard, but I want to pull them out. So it's got a little more texture to it.
Parsley cut rope.
Make sure it's really hot. So kind of my thought process was, what is it's not Matsuda, but the lady with the snakes in her hair.
Medusa.
Yeah, so that's kind of that.
Medusa.
Okay. Next is what I want to do. for the
Angelic
eyeballs.
angel.
So I need you to take a piece of color. Is that tobacco or is that?
That's gold.
Yeah, so do the yellow. Take some yellow, drop a small bit.
Is
flatten
orange
it.
here?
Yep, orange. Flatten it with a mold, and then I'm going to pick it up on the side.
So how big? Like a dime or a quarter?
Quarter.
Flat quarter.
Flat quarter.
All right.
It's so weird.
Cut it on the marber and squish it.
Yep. The only thing is, it might need a little heat, so I'll move the torch. Do it here, so that you can torch it right after you flatten it.
Okay, I'm going for it.
So it's feeling a little Mr. Potato Head kind of components, what I'm doing.
Experimental.
Yeah. And after we do the eyeball, I'll show you what I'm going to do with some cane.
Here we go.
Oh, yes. And I probably meant super flat. Okay. So what I want to do with these eyes is really do this technique, but then also do some frit work on the eyes. Will you reheat that for me? And the frit work will allow me to do colors on the eyes. So for now, I'm going to do this.
Sweet.
But what I want to do is these little patties that I'll put in the annealer and do the frit on them, so that I could have all sorts of eyes and like a bullseye. So what do monster eyeballs look like?
That's a great question. And has anybody out there ever looked into a monster's eyeball and lived to tell the tale? It's a great question.
Because I like this type of work. Will you paddle make that flat? But I also, okay, I'm gonna add the red. I like this kind of torch work, but I also don't do it a lot. And so what I'd like to do is make all my eyeballs ahead of time and slump them in the annealer and then pick them up. So
Slump them in the annealer.
Yeah.
So what she means is make them separately and then bring them up to temperature in the garage or in some pickup annealer. And then once they're at 1,000 degrees, put them onto the piece she's making, already done and finished.
Okay, so that's eyeball. Let's do an ear.
An ear?
The same flat thing that you just did for the first round of hair.
Okay.
But I'm going to put it on sideways. Because monsters have eyeballs, hair, ears. What if they only had ears? What if they had 5 ears? What if they had...
So you say another flat ring?
Yeah.
Or like on the marver?
A flat, like you did the hair. Yes.
Okay, like the hair.
Like the pastorelli or the taglia hair. I do like the curly hair a lot.
Me too.
I think an opaque and a transparent for the other style hair would work well.
See the way the color changes when you hit it with the metal? Pretty cool.
It's very unnerving to me not to have music on. Okay, so long ways? Yep.
Nice snip.
So what does an ear look like? Perhaps it's pointy, like an elf.
Mmm. Oh, yes.
Right?
This is a Mr. Potato Head. Out of glass. Like a what? Kirby?
Herbie?
Furby? Who is Furby? Oh. Yes, those things. A Furby.
Oh yeah. So
Everybody
there-
knows.
Will you flash it? We're gonna give it an earring.
Oh boy.
Why
Straight
not?
off the pirate ship. This guy.
So even with
The potato head with swag.
well, I'm thinking we could make these things kind of ahead of time. All right, earlobe.
Truly go potato head with it.
I would like to do like a hoop, but I don't know how to do that. So we'll just go with the stud.
Probably don't squish it, right?
Yeah, don't squish it.
Nice.
Oh, he could have a pierced nose.
This guy.
So ears, how do you smell? All right, so what else do I want to do? Let's do one more of the hair. I really like that and want to play with that a little more. Yeah, that one, if the colors are right, would be kind of cool. The ear, not a lot to work with there, and that's kind of human ear-esque, but that was fun. So we'll do one more of those.
We'll do a green hair this time.
Okay.
One
So
green
the other thing
hair.
that I'm thinking about is surface texture on these. We have an acid we can dip them in. We have sandblasting we can do to them. And they're actually going to get feet. These monsters are from a certain region.
Do you know what region yet?
We don't know what region yet, but they walk down from the mountain.
They're kind of mysterious.
Yeah. And so
It's a mountainous region.
it is, because they needed the feet to get through the swamp.
Mmm. Makes sense. Boom.
Soft.
Nice cuts. Green's a lot softer than the oranges, what she's saying.
Right, which is interesting to think about. Well, it's nice and hot there. I'm able to pull up. That's like a cool crown.
Yeah.
brush cut.
Huh? See what kind of curlage she can do here.
So I'm going for the middle one. Ooh-wee. Don't have much time.
That's what I'm saying is the trick of doing that when you got 5 different ones. The perfect amount of heat so it doesn't fall back on itself, but you've got enough heat to do them. It's kind of tricky.
I know, that's probably why I was dreaming about it.
Tricky, but rewarding. Oh yes.
That one. Spin it.
Anybody who's new to glass blowing, you see the way she's moving back and forth quick. We're talking about the glass cooling down, solidifying really fast, and especially on a thin, clear bubble like she's got right now. She's worried about all these applications, but if that bubble gets too cold, and she's not paying attention to it and giving it the heat it deserves, as all bubbles do,
That's
it
fine.
will crack and it'll pop off.
So I think too, I don't like the spots. So what I want to do color-wise would be, might be fold it once or
Sure.
twice to get the color to mix, right? So it's not spots.
Sure.
All right, so folks, there we have it.
Beautiful.
Eyeball, ear with an earring, curly hair, curly hair.
And those colors are going to brighten up. That's a bright green and a bright orange. So when we do the annealer reveal on Sunday and or whenever we do it,
You think the nailer's hot enough?
I think you can put it in there, yeah. You'll be able to see those colors in their true glory.
You can have them end on that shot is lovely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the bonsai, we're at about 800. It still needs 100 degrees to go, which that'll probably be okay.
Look
We
at
don't
it.
want to,
End on that, it's beautiful.
yeah, we don't want to put it in there before we are ready to do it, but if you do take a zoom in here, this radiates a lot of heat, so be careful with it. But take a good look at that bonsai. It's looking beautiful in there. I'm really excited to get it out of there with that pink on top, looking really fresh. We're going to warm up these tongs, go from underneath, lift it up, and take the 2-second removal from the heat and put it back into the heat. And we're hoping and praying, and I'll be sleeping tonight, hoping that that thing doesn't break on the journey over or in the box tonight. But that was a pretty beautiful show, folks. We're gonna catch you on Sunday, I think. We may have a little Christmas special at some point, but just stay tuned on all of our social media platforms and if we don't talk to you, have an amazing, absolutely incredible Christmas with lots of positivity and great things happening to everybody out there.